Hey guys, Hook to Clash here. It's been way too long since we've seen my attacks on the channel, and as you can see from this screenshot here, I was able to achieve a perfect day in Legends League. But let's not just look at the screenshot, let's have a look at some of the attacks and have a look at the army I am running. Because we're no longer running Blizz Lalo. I know that will disappoint a lot of you. I know a lot of you loved watching Blizz Lalo, but thankfully there's so many pros that do Blizz Lalo that you're going to see plenty of Blizz Lalo content on the channel. I have decided though to switch to Queen Charge Lalo, and the simple reason is I think it's the best strategy in Legends League. Now obviously I have many seasons under my belt doing Blizz Lalo, so I'm probably still better at that for the time being, but I wanted to learn something new, expand my horizons, and hopefully probably next month you'll see some sort of Queen Charge guide from me, particularly for like Queen Charge Lalo attacks. But yeah, you should see a Queen Charge guide. I'm learning out how to do the charges in Legends League. Anyway, this is the first attack. This is a new box base. This box is quite common, and this charge that I'm doing right now is insane. Like, it's just the best charge on the base. Now, unfortunately, you always have to freeze the Town Hall because of the multi, but look at this. This Queen's gone in perfectly. Now, a few things you might have missed. One, this first wall break not only took out the Builder Hut, but it allowed us to get these succeeding two, or like the two wall breakers afterwards to get the Queen into core. She's dealing with the CC. She's chilling for the time being. And then look at this. We're using the King on the bottom. We're kind of treating this like a hybrid attack. If you were doing hybrid, I think you'd do the exact same charge, honestly. Use the King to funnel, except for this, we are doing Lalo, the RC with the Stone Slammer, just really, really strong. Now, the Stone Slammer is probably my second most used siege machine. You'll see throughout the day which siege I'm using the most. It's probably not too hard to guess. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Queen Charge Lalo at the moment. It's a genuine challenge. Now, I'm having plenty of really bad days with it, and if you all want to switch to it, don't expect results immediately. But if you commit to it, you will start getting results eventually. As you can tell, we've absolutely wiped this box off the face of the planet, swagging an invis, and we tripled with like a minute to go or something like that. Like, this was absolutely wrecked, and there's no real other way to take down this base, in my opinion, because we had all four of our heroes up at the end. Another ultra common box base here. Honestly, this one is nearly one of the most common ones you'll see. The last one's pretty close as well. And it's just these style of bases that you're going to see, you know, at least once a day. These are the sort of bases that have got to be guaranteed triples for you if you want to move up. It's really hard to triple new bases, but bases you've seen before should be an easy 40 cups. Now, as you can tell, we are using the Flame Flinger here, because look at this. Once we get rid of that mortar in the corner, there's nothing shooting this Flame Flinger. Because even though the ground bow can obviously shoot the Flame Flinger, it's actually stuck on the Queen. And look, this Flame Flinger is eventually going to get the Eagle. Now, if we look down here, unfortunately the King kind of betrays us, but he will eventually come back. But his job was to go into that wall break and clear out that compartment, and have a look at what we're going to do with our Queen from here. She's in a really nice spot. We hit the junction on this wall break. I freeze the Headhunters. I've been doing this a lot. It is, if you can't use the freeze, if you need to save the freezes, obviously don't. But if you can afford to use the freeze, it's really nice, because essentially you kind of save a spell freeze in the Headhunters, because the Queen just gets through the CC that much faster. Now, we use the invis this time. Unfortunately, the Eagle will get a shot off onto our healers. Not really much we can do about that. We rage again, and look at this. The Queen will get through the single well in time, and the Eagle is about to go down to our very own Flame Flinger. Queen's dropping down, and now we've got a Lalo through the Town Hall. Kind of like you see what Stars do with Blizzard Lalo. The only difference is Stars has a much bigger Lalo, although we do have an RC, and we also got, like, no base up. Fortunately, the Queen barely pops her ability there. We have the Flame Flinger has opened on the top side. We pop the Warden ability because that Tornado was doing a bit of work. We get the RC in it. I actually can't... There's the RC. We also get the Headhunters in it, which never normally kill the defensive Royal Champion, but get her close enough that our RC can finish the job. And as you can tell, there's just no base left. There's absolutely no base left. The Queen has done a brilliant job taking out the core. Flinger gets the top side, and the Lalo's just got to get the Town Hall and the Scatter down. And that is a big GG's there. We'll skip through the last little bit. But yeah, I'm very confident with this crack. You might see other cracks from other players on the channel, but I'm very happy with this crack to take out this common ring. Okay, here's another box for you. This one, kind of similar to the, I believe, the first base I showed you guys. And we're going to kind of do a very, very similar approach, but it's going to go completely differently. Now, I've only seen... This base was popular like, I don't know, like in April, probably, if I had to guess. I haven't actually seen it really much in my push at all. Yet again, we do that first wall break so that the second, and more importantly, third and fourth wall breaker go exactly where they're wanted. Now, we use the king on the funnel this time because there's so much more trash on the outside here to funnel. Just makes sense to bring the king. And look at this double wall break. Absolutely amazing. And suddenly, the queen can do whatever she wants. However, we've got no wall breakers to funnel our king inside the base. There's nothing I can really do. And have a look at what the queen's going to do here. This is a big sad moment. This is a really sad moment here. Look at her. Oh, she's just walking around the edge. Now, because the king's over there and tanking, generally, if your king's going to tank, you may as well put your RC with your king, is what I found. Like, generally, you're going to get enough value. Especially if the king's getting the defensive queen on the outside, and the RC can snipe this scatter shot. Because obviously, my queen can't reach this scatter shot from the compartment she's in. So if my RC takes it down, pretty happy with that. We pop her ability. I don't know if I use the invis. I can't even remember, honestly. No, I don't, which is a smart call. But have a look at this. The queen just keeps running away. We're at the 130 mark, so I kind of got to make up my mind any second about how we're going to Lalo. I was thinking of Laloing far side of the Town Hall, but you wouldn't be able to save the Warden ability that long. It was never going to be smart. So as soon as the queen beats the wall here, I'm starting to set up the Lalo. So look at this hound, by the way. Set perfectly to go over the Town Hall, and look what it gets. All those red bombs, gets a Sam there as well. We freeze the Town Hall because it's literally just about to activate. We get our last Headhunter in that Warden. I think that was a waste though, given that the defensive heroes are on the other side of the base. Look at that. We've actually got 2 Headhunters, but they get slowed down by the Town Hall Poison. They get off 1 hit, but that's it. We have to pop our Queen ability on the defensive king. Better to pop earlier than late. Notice how she's still got plenty of health left. We've still got so many balloons. Unfortunately, nothing's pathing very well at all. So we have to freeze the scatter here. The problem with this is the scatter will retarget onto our balloons. I obviously didn't want that. That freeze was meant to be an invis. And at this point, I started panicking because I was like, I was 90% sure I had this triple, and then I suddenly put a freeze spell on top of my queen, like a 1 IQ move right there. Then the RC kills my queen, but we do have just enough time. Time was actually a big problem here, but we do have just enough time to get the base down. This NATO was the most frightening thing I've ever seen, but the Warden snipes the army camp. And we take down this base with a very unusual style of queen charge. Okay, this is probably my least favorite style of box space to hit. I promise this is the last box space of the video. I'm just going through all the bases kind of sequentially. This is my least favorite style of box space because of this dead zone you see here. So a lot of the time on box spaces, you have 3 main approaches. You'll do like Town Hall Queen charges like you've seen today. You'll do charges in through the scatter shot, or you'll do like a log launcher and come from the back end. But my favorite 2 are charging the scatter shot and log launcher in the core. But on this base, it doesn't work very well, because if you log launcher the core, you can't reach this scatter shot from the middle. And if you queen charge into a scatter shot, how are you going to wall break into the core when there's a dead zone here? So I've come up with a little handy trick for taking this base down, which I really... or these style of bases. It's currently worked basically perfectly for me. Let's see if it continues to do so. That air defense gets 1 shot off, but then bam, look at that. Flame fling on the bottom side, putting in work. We just tanked the mortar. I don't know if you saw at the start. We tanked the mortar with our queen, and it allows the flame flinger to do so much. Look at it. Now, unfortunately, an archer comes out of the defensive CC, but I'm pretty sure I do see this eventually. Jeez, I hope I see it. Hooked! Look after your flame flinger! Did I see it? Maybe I didn't. Yikes, that's not very good from me. Definitely should have taken that out, but it's very hard to multitask. Now, I want to use my king for the town hall here to see if I can force my queen into like the core. The flame flinger pops obviously quite early because, you know, the archer got onto it. We poison and freeze the super minions, and that's basically enough to get it all down. Then we're going to Lalo from the left side. This is why I really like this when it's versus multis. We're going to Lalo from the left side, and look at this RC. What's she going to fight in the core of this base? We pop the Warden ability to get the headhunters, and we haste our balloons across the base. I actually rage my Royal Champion. Then I freeze the sweeper and the multi. I've raged my queen, whose ability popped before on the Town Hall Poison. But we're trying to keep her alive, because if the queen lives, this is a GG. Look at this invis, by the way. Helps our loons get on top of the scatter shot. And I invis 2 cannons, which I'm like, I don't really care if my loons go for a cannon. And this is wrecked. And this approach works so nicely, honestly. As long as this air defense here, A, doesn't pull your queen, and B, doesn't shoot your healers, you're kind of chilling. You're kind of chilling. It's a really safe charge, and you have so many spells for the back end of the attack. This is a very unique base. It's technically a square. I'm going to call it a diamond base, but it's also just a big square. But obviously, the town hall is offset to one side. Now, when I was looking at this base, I was like, I really don't want to charge this town hall. There's openings here. Like, it just looks really awkward to charge. But not only that, there's 2 single Infernos and no other value. If you look at this base, for Lalo targets, look at all, for like important Lalo targets, look at all this. All these heroes, not that bomb tower obviously, but there's just so much value on this side of the base. Even though there's 2 sweepers this way, I'm like, I'm willing to play. And look at that, we get rid of a NATO immediately. I'm not sure why that NATO's there, but I wasn't complaining. I assume it's to stop a blizzard. But we wall break there, and I just remember how I did this. Yeah, this hit was not exactly smart. So we're going to use our ground warden here. I'm just going to pause it and explain kind of my methodology. When you're on diamonds, generally the best way to take them out is with a log launcher and a ground warden. Or not necessarily the best way, but it's the most senseless way. In the sense that it requires less skill, because your heroes and your siege machine kind of take out the whole base and leave nothing to Lalo. But if you're going to do that, you have to get the town hall with the charge. Otherwise, it's a 1-star. And I thought about that on this hit, but I was like, I don't think I'm getting the town hall. So if you don't think you're getting a town hall, you either have to keep your warden ability or your siege machine for the town hall. I wanted my warden with the king, because obviously we're fighting a bunch of heroes here. It's going to help our king so much if you have a warden ability. So because of that, I'm going to hang on to my stone slammer here and use it with the Lalo for the town hall. Because obviously, a siege machine, whether it's a blimp or a stone slammer in this case, will go okay through the town hall. Whereas the rest of the Lalo, gonna die without that warden ability. So we'll get into the rest of the hit here. We get our queens going quite nicely. We wall break for the king. And then I'm going to reinforce the king with the RC. I mean, you could save the RC if you wanted for the town hall, but a ground hero kill squad just does so well. We get that nice wall break to the scatter shot, and we're going to deal with this CC out of single range. That's what I really liked about this charge. Yes, there's technically 2 singles, but they're out of range when we deal with the CC. King, RC, get good value. I believe I'm about to invis the RC here, because I want her to get this scatter shot down. If she gets the scatter shot down, this base is in so much trouble, and she does it. So kudos to my Royal Champion there. This sweeper is actually somehow put my healers in multi-range. I couldn't quite believe it. And then the Eagle's going to hit the healers once, I believe. A little unfortunate, but absolutely nothing we can do. We start raging. Look at that, by the way. Both sweepers are down. So they really didn't do a whole lot to stop the Lalo. We rage the queen. I'm not sure that rage was necessary. Unfortunately, these skeletons are going to pick off a few of my healers, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, but what can you do about it? Stone Slammer's doing good work. It's obviously not done that much for the sake of getting the town hall down, so this was still quite risky. Keep in mind, I don't have a warden ability, but I have set a pretty nice funnel for the town hall, and look at it. I've got 2 freezers left. That's the important part. Here comes the troops out of the Stone Slammer. This Dragon Rider is about to save my butt, if I remember correctly. And that's the one reason I really like saving the siege machine for the town hall is loons will kind of look at this. They're going to get on the town hall and die. But look at this. This dragon rider is a little trooper here, hanging on for health. We got a few loons at the top to take out the arch tower, helping take out the wizard tower, and we're just systematically pulling apart the base. Fortunately, this final arch tower kills a fair bit of my cleanup. But look, my queen's alive, and this is absolutely chilling. So this is a risky approach, but if you keep one of your warden or one of your siege machine, you're always going to have a way to secure the town hall, essentially. And especially if you've got as many spells as I had left for the Lalo. This is perhaps my least favorite base to attack at the moment. It's a very common diamond base, if not the most common diamond teaser. I never know whether to call these diamonds or teasers. It's like a mix of both. But this is one of my least favorite common bases to hit. Always because I seem to lose a healer at the start. Like, I can't get the warden to hit my queen first. But this is... Look, I've failed on it once or twice using this approach, but this is the best way to hit the base in what I've found. So what we're going to do here, we're going to charge the town hall, like so. I believe I put in a sneaky gob. Yep. This sneaky gob's just to pull any skeleton traps, because I'd rather pull them now than, obviously, well, when the town hall poisons on my queen. Now, as soon as the town hall goes down, King, RC, and I go a ground warden. You don't have to, because a warden with the Lalo, as you can see over here, we've got a multi and all this to Lalo. A warden would be kind of handy, so you don't have to use your ground warden over here. I just decided to. Honestly, I think on this hit, I probably shouldn't have. The only reason I think you would absolutely have to use a ground warden is if you lose your queen ability early. Now, I actually lose my queen ability here because I'm too focused on the rocket balloons, which is kind of a scary thing. Thankfully, like I said, wardened the king ability. But now it's just about kind of overwhelming the core of the base with your heroes, because as soon as you get through this scatter shot, have a look at it. The absolute the total damage on the base just completely decreases now. There's just so much less than before. And then we Lalo from the top side, and we use the Hound early to do all that good tanking. And then I usually use the Stone Slammer from the left side, because often the Tesla farms by like these Archer Towers. So I like using the Stone Slammer there. We've double freeze, because you just can't let the multi or the eagle hit hard. Now, we've gotten really lucky. We actually got a warden swap here. The warden's helping out with our troops. I don't think this would have gone anywhere near as strong if that Lalo didn't have the warden. But if you look at how much Lalo we have left up, I don't think we're ever in danger of failing. If you can execute that queen charge and that hero kill squad, this hit will often work. It's just abusing the fact that the king and the warden ability is probably the strongest thing in Clash at the moment. Don't worry, we can put this entire hit on 2 times. I figured I'd just show this anyway, because this base is slightly different to the last one. The main difference is you can see all the Infernos are in the Town Hall comp this time. The last one you saw like one here and one here. They were spread throughout the base. But this one's basically the same. Yet again, look at this. We lose a healer immediately. I really need to stop doing that. You don't want to be losing any healer when you're pulling off the charge. I am. But yeah, we can 2 times through this. But I just want to kind of show you how repeatable the plan is. Also, I got a feeling if I didn't show you guys 8 attacks, you wouldn't believe I got a perfect day. Because it's Queen Charge Lalo, and I'm evidently not a Queen Charge Lalo main player, in case you haven't been able to tell already. Queen ability, I believe, gets popped here. It's just unfortunate sweeper timing. We pop our Warden ability. Look at this Ice Hound, by the way. What a terrible CC to run into. This, like, ties up my RC for the longest time. Look at it. It is so chunky. We finally get through it. You can't really poison until you kill it, unfortunately. And then we use the Stone Slammer early here because the RC did not get as much value as I needed her to. Then we freeze the Eagle and 1 airbow. We rage what comes out of our Stone Slammer on the bottom to do all that. And we just have enough here. Like, this got a little too close for my liking. Not exactly the great way of showing how good this plan is, but it worked. It got us another 40 cups. Maybe it was our lucky day. Maybe it wasn't. We did swag a spell, though. And that is 7 out of 7, I believe. And let's get into the final attack. This was my final attack of the day. I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't actually have a good crack for this base yet. I've hit it a few times. The first time I hit it, I did like a crazy charge like this, but then somehow took out this air defense, and it was, honestly, it was a mess. An absolute mess, and I tried to repeat it on stream. By the way, I am doing about every second day, I'm doing my attacks on stream. So if you do want to see more of this Queen Charge Lalo live this season, then make sure to go to my Twitch. Make sure to go to my Twitch channel, hit follow, and turn on notifications when I go live. My Twitch link is in the description below. If not, it's twitch.tv/hooked. It's not actually Hooked to Clash. We recently changed it to Hooked because Hooked is a really clean name. I'd love to do that on YouTube, but there's actually a YouTube channel already called Hooked, and it has 3 million subscribers. So I have a feeling we're not going to be able to get that name off them as easily as we did with Twitch. But nothing to worry about. I'm more than happy with Hooked to Clash for YouTube. Bit of fun and games. Look at this. This Flame Flinger barely takes out the single in time. I was like panicking. Look at it. Oh, it was so close. We nearly popped our Queen ability 8 seconds in. So yeah, I'm not sure how much I like this crack. It does triple in the end, obviously, because we got a perfect day. Would I do this again, though? I don't know. But the charge does get really nice value. Now, unfortunately, we kind of mess up with the king here. He does eventually come back, but we're forced to use a second freeze. Obviously, if we hit it again, we wouldn't need to use that freeze. Because you kind of always, if you're Laloing the Town Hall, you definitely need at least one freeze, generally 2. On the plus side, this Flame Flinger is putting in insane work. Just don't think many people are expecting like a Flame Flinger into this style of charge. Queen's in the core of the base. Now, she's getting a good chunk of the base, but we're not actually getting much value. Yet again, I put my RC with the king just because the king gives her such a nice tank. I don't think I should have done this, though. I don't think it was necessary. I think, like, she got some nice pieces of the base down, but, like, look at how much is left to Lalo. We have 2 sweepers, 2 air heroes, a town hall, 2 scatters. Like, there's still a lot left. Now, because the Queen and the Flame Flinger's on the top side, I'm actually going to Lalo from the bottom side. Because essentially what I want to do here is have the last-ish building be this town hall. Sounds risky, but it's really hard to Lalo through the town hall when it's not immediate. Whereas if you kind of end on it, all that you need to live after, it's like a couple of loons and a Dragon Rider, and then there's no base left, right? Whereas if we Lalo'd this top side, right, we'd still have to go through a Scattershot and an air hero, despite being in the Town Hall poison and not having really many spells left. As you can tell, that Tesla farm does kind of eat a few of our loons alive, but there's just nothing left after the Town Hall here, and these loons almost all die, but it doesn't matter. My Queen can clean up the rest of the base. I will say this was close-ish on time. I was thinking I was going to fail a perfect day by time on my last hit, and I was never going to be happy with that. But as you can tell, use that last invis, and bam, everything goes down, and we got ourselves that 320 that everyone so desperately wants. Now, I can confirm that the next day in Legends League, I got like mid-250s. So we're still working on it. But if you enjoyed this style of video, if you enjoyed the Queen Charge Lalo analysis, let me know down in the comments below. You know how much I appreciate the comments. And if you enjoyed it, obviously click that subscribe button if you haven't already. But that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed the content, and maybe I'll see you soon.